What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? So welcome here today to a reaction to a Bleacher Report article, report. What did I say, report? Jeez. Surprising NBA trades that could actually happen. Shout out to Top of Game for recommending this article for me to react to on Twitter. If you want me to react to anything specifically, let me know down below. So yeah, we're going to see, I think it's 4 different trades that could possibly happen and surprising NBA trades. So I'm going to give it a scale, like, yeah, maybe it could happen. Okay, like, I get the idea, or absolutely not. Why even write this article? But shout out to Zach Buckley for writing it, though, on July 21st. Link to the article will be in the description below. So, first trade we have here is Spurs seek stardom with Simmons. Sixers strengthen rotation. This would be Ben Simmons going to the San Antonio Spurs in exchange for DeJounte Murray, Derek White, and Devin Vassell. Whoa, okay, so let's look at this for the Spurs perspective. They would not have a point guard next year, but hey, they could end up with like a Josh Giddey or Sharif Cooper in this class, and that could be their point guard. They would have Lonnie Walker at the 2. They'd have Keldon Johnson at the 3, Simmons at the 4, Jakob Poeltl at the 5. I kind of like that, because I'd rather have Ben Simmons than DeJounte Murray, and I think, like, I would be willing to trade Derek White and Devin Vassell to get Ben Simmons, the difference between him and DeJounte Murray. So I kind of like that idea for the Spurs. For the Sixers, I mean, I think Derek White would be a nice player for them, a 3-and-D guy. DeJounte Murray, great player who could be their starting point guard, who could pass, he could size up, rebound, score, shoot. He's a very good player, and he's probably going to continue to get better. And then Devin Vassell as well, who wasn't great his rookie season, but the potential is definitely there for him to at least be a good defensive player. I'm not going to say as good as like Matisse Thybulle, kind of his game where he's not the best shooter, but he's a great defender. Not like that specifically, but somebody where, you know, you trust him out there on a defensive end, like maybe like a Dorian Finney-Smith potentially. So yeah, this is if like the Sixers don't want like maybe a Kemba package or a D'Lo package, because you're getting 3 good/great defenders in this trade. Murray, White, and Vassell, all good defenders, or at least Vassell can be a good defender. And then for the Spurs, honestly, I'd move Derek White and Devin Vassell for Simmons in an absolute heartbeat. And it's just, are you willing to give up DeJounte Murray for Ben Simmons? I think I would. If you don't have to give up any additional draft capital, and like I said, you don't have to give up your first round pick in this draft, maybe you get Josh Giddey. You could have Giddey, Walker, Johnson, Simmons, and then you figure out the 5. I like that a lot. I'm actually a fan of that trade kind of for the Spurs. Sixers, I kind of like it too. All right, this is a solid trade. Like when I originally saw it, I was like, really Spurs? But kind of like the idea. This is if the Sixers can't land like a McCollum or somebody like that. Or if they don't want a McCollum. So next up, we have Warriors load up, Rockets further rebuild. So I'm guessing this is the Warriors getting Christian Wood. So it is Christian Wood and Eric Gordon going to the Warriors in exchange for Wiseman, Oubre in a sign-and trade to make the money work, and pick 14. So we'll talk about this for the Warriors side. They're giving up their number 2 overall pick from the 2020 draft of Wiseman. Oubre, he's leaving them anyway because they can't afford him, so he doesn't really matter, and 14. So you're basically trading Wiseman and 14 for Wood and Gordon. I mean, that makes you good right away, and you can have a lineup of Splash Bros, Wiggins, Draymond, Wood, and then have Gordon like coming off the bench as a great shooter. I think that makes you better, and honestly, I think it's worth it for them to give up Wiseman. I know they probably don't want to give up Wiseman. He wasn't spectacular as a rookie, but he wasn't bad at all, and he's, 19 years old. He's only going to get better. He's going to be playing with Clay, which can only open more things up for him. So, I would be a little wary of giving up Wiseman right away. I don't know if I would, especially for Christian Wood. He's got 2 years on his deal, and then you basically won't be able to afford him because you're paying Splash Bros and Draymond and Wiggins all this money, even though they might have new contracts by then. And then you might still be in the luxury tax with Eric. You're probably going to be in the luxury tax with this trade. And yeah, you get to keep pick 7. So honestly, this gives them some depth because Oubre's gone. So say you have the starting 5 I mentioned with Wood there. Then you have Gordon coming off the bench. You got Jordan Poole, Eric Pascal, and like Davion Mitchell / Franz Wagner. It's a pretty good 4-man bench, definitely. Then you could probably go out and sign like a minimum guy, or you got like Toscano Anderson or somebody else out there, Kevon Mooney, potentially. So I actually like this trade a lot for the Warriors. I think I like it for the Warriors. And as for the Rockets, I think this is a trade you should make as well. Oubre, you can maybe look to package in a trade again, call up New York call up Dallas, be like, would you give us a first round pick for Oubre or 2 seconds, and at least just get more draft capital or a young player? And then you get Wiseman, who could be your 5, with Jalen Green possibly in that team, with Kevin Porter Jr., and then you obviously have to move John Wall, and then you get another lottery pick. So you'd have 4 first round picks in this draft. Say you end up with, I don't know, Jalen Green, then you end up with like a James Bouknight to come off the bench. That would be fun. And then you end up with like a Zaire Williams and like an Usman Garuba. That's a pretty good class for the Houston Rockets. I kind of like this trade a lot for the Rockets. Do I like it for the Warriors? I do, but I don't think it's necessary, you know. So next up we have Raptors win Lillard sweepstakes. Blazers get rebuilding tools. So is this going to involve 4 Anunoby and like Boucher? Let's see. So, okay. So no Boucher involved. But it's Raptors get Lillard. Blazers get Van Vliet, OG Anunoby, Malachi Flynn, number 4 and 2 firsts. Okay. All right. Honestly, not a bad idea for the... I mean, this is a good return for the Blazers because you're getting Van Vliet, who could still help you be semi-competitive in the Western Conference, or you could look to flip Van Vliet to like a Mavericks or a Lakers or a Knicks and get additional draft capital. OG Anunoby could be a great kind of, not cornerstone player, but somebody that will just be always your 3rd or 4th best player, but will get it done on the defensive end. He'll be a good shooter. He can attack the rim. He'll be good slashing, good in transition. Just somebody there that could just be a great complementary piece to like your next star. You get Malachi Flynn. You could be like, you would have a lot of point guards here because at 4, you're ending up with either Kuminga or Suggs or Mobley, whoever you prefer out of those 3, and whoever the Cavs don't take at 3. Which it depends. Are you a huge fan of one of those players? If so, then maybe you make this trade. If not, then don't. And then you get 2 additional first round picks, which is nice to always add some draft capital as well. I mean, I'm just saying, if the Blazers do this trade, you get Van Vliet, you get Anunoby, you get Flynn, say you get Jalen Suggs, and then maybe you flip that 2025 first and CJ McCollum for Ben Simmons. I'm just saying, and then you can flip Van Vliet for another first. Like, so you're basically just counteracting that, like, those first. Or maybe you do Van Vliet and... Now, you can't do Van Vliet and McCollum for Simmons. The Sixers wouldn't be able to afford that. I don't know. Well, like something like that where you can get Ben Simmons for McCollum. You would have some nice kind of building blocks with Anunoby, Simmons, and Suggs. I'm just saying. I'm just kind of looking at the long-term perspective for the Portland Trailblazers. I would do this if I were... I don't know. I don't think I would do this. I mean, the Raptors do get a little... Like, losing Anunoby hurts. But you do have Gary Trent Jr. still. Because then I guess you would roll out a Lillard, Trent Jr., figure it out at the 3. Siakam. Actually, I don't think I would do this. I don't think I would do this if I were the Raptors. I think it just hurts them. I'm like, I think like it makes them a little bit better with Lillard, of course, but it doesn't make them title contenders. And why mortgage the future for a team that will never beat the big 3 Nets or the reigning champion Bucks or the 76ers? You know what I mean? It's not worth it because I think giving up Anunoby hurts a lot. Because like, say you didn't have to give up Anunoby like in an alternate scenario, right? So you'd have like Van Vliet, like, or Lillard, Van Vliet, and Anunoby, Siakam, and, like, you figure out your center, because I don't think Boucher's really a 5. I like a lot, and then maybe you do Boucher and another first, or Boucher and Trent Jr. for Miles Turner, right? So, I like this trade, I think, a little bit for the Blazers more than I do for the Raptors. I'm not a huge fan of it for the Raptors. Obviously, getting Damian Lillard is huge, but like I said, it really doesn't put you over that, the level of the Nets, the Bucks, and I think even the Sixers. So, next up, we have, or the last trade, Portland gets Lillard and a sidekick. Charlotte adds bigs and assets. Oh, Lillard a sidekick. For some reason I was reading and a sidekick. I was like, how are they getting Lillard? They have Lillard. So this obviously involves Gordon Hayward going to the Blazers in exchange for Nurkic, Collins in a sign and trade, and a 2023 top protected first round pick. I mean, yeah, I kind of love this idea for the Blazers, because I think Nurkic really isn't what he once was. He's going to be a free agent soon. Getting Gordon Hayward, another playmaker, could be just massive for that team. And you'd have Lillard, McCollum, Hayward. I mean, you'd have, and then Rocco at the 4. You just got to find that center, which, who knows, maybe Rashawn Holmes is interested in joining your team. Somebody like that, I don't know. But it's got to be somebody good on defense, because you're going to need it. I actually like this trade for the Hornets, because I don't think losing Nasir Little or Zach Collins, who's a free agent, is a big deal at all. So it's basically Nurkic in the 2023 first for Hayward, and which I would do. As for the Blazers, I don't think I would do this. I really don't think that much of Collins, because he can't stay healthy. Little hasn't shown much in the NBA. You're getting a first-round pick in Nurkic. You do need a 5, and you can maybe give the keys to Miles Bridges there. But I really don't like this trade for the Hornets. I like it a lot more for the Blazers. So those are just 4 trades that they came up. I think the one I like the most is the Sixers one. The one I like the second most is probably the Warriors one. Third most is probably this Hornets one, and then 4th is this Raptors one. So let me know what you guys think down below with these trades. Which one do you like the most? Drop a like if you guys do enjoy these videos. I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.